It is much later in the day than it has been the past few days when I've said hello. Today did not go as planned. I woke up this morning and it was a really beautiful rainy morning, and I am English to my bones and I really like a rainy day. So when I woke up this morning and the light was kind of dim and grey and I could just hear the rain, I just kind of snuggled up in bed and enjoyed that for a little while. I did a bit of reading. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm really struggling with reading at the moment. My concentration is not the best, but I did read a little bit, which was really nice. And then I had breakfast in bed because that's just my life these days. But I decided, as you can see, the light is not great. It's only about 2 o'clock. And the light the last few days at this time has been amazing, and it's not so great. So I was going to batch film a load of videos for the 2 new series that I'm doing, but I'm not because of the light. So yeah, I just had a super lazy morning in bed. I watched pretty much up to the end of Escape to the Chateau and did some knitting, so that was good. I have decided that today is just a chill day. I am catching up on podcasts, I am drinking lots of tea, I am eating cottage pie, and just really chilling out, really. So yeah, that's today. One thing I will say is that I am catching up a lot on podcasts these days, because they're really good to have on in the background while you're trying to like get things done. So if you do watch the podcast, you'll have heard me talk about Rex Factor. I highly recommend it still. The Consorts series is really interesting. There are some consorts that I'm really looking forward to, but at the same time I'm really enjoying hearing about these women we wouldn't otherwise know about. And let's face it, it's mostly women. So I would highly recommend that. I would also highly recommend, if you can, becoming a Rex Factor patron, because they're patron content, I'm not sure what you call it, but their patron content is absolutely out of this world. It's so good. They've got some really juicy episodes that I've been massively enjoying, which is good because, as I said, reading not so much at the moment. I don't know why. I'm just struggling to concentrate on reading. Another one I would recommend, again, I've talked about Harry Potter and the Sacred Text on the podcast. They have just started the Deathly Hallows, and they've also announced that when they come to the end of the Deathly Hallows, they're going to go back and start again, to see if they can get any more out of it. Another thing I really love about the podcast is that it calls out where the novels fail, because the series does fail when it comes to inclusivity and diversity. There are very few people of colour at Hogwarts. There is no LGBTQIA plus representation. That's me blathering on about Harry Potter and the Sacred Text. Listen to it, it's great. Another one I've really been enjoying is actually by the co-host of Harry Potter and the Sacred Text. So Vanessa Zoltan last year launched another podcast under Not Sorry Productions, which produces Harry Potter and the Sacred Text. She produced Hot and Bothered, and this is about how romance novels helped her through difficult times. And she got her friends to write romance novels to kind of help them process how they feel about love and relationships. And it was fascinating, and I cannot wait for the next season. So I highly recommend that. But they're actually doing a special at the moment where they're reading Twilight in quarantine. So at the moment they're reading Twilight, and 3 times a week Vanessa and Julia come together to talk about it. They're very irreverent, they're very short podcasts, and it's just the lightness that I need every couple of days. It's really easy to digest. They're about 20 minutes and they're funny and they make me laugh. So highly recommend those as well. But for the time being, I'm going to finish my tea and carry on knitting.